Hey guys, it's been a while since we caught up, and today I'm going to be talking about a trip that I've taken in this month of 2025 to end off my 2025 year. So I actually made a multi-leg trip from Singapore. I flew into Thailand, Bangkok, and from there I went to Hong Kong, and subsequently I went up into China to Shenzhen, and then I came back to Hong Kong and went back to Singapore. It took about 10 days for me to actually go through this whole trip. Now, I actually captured some very interesting photos. Now, what do I do on trips? I pack a camera and I go on hikes, I take pictures of food, and I will actually take a lot of photos from behind the windows of the plane as well as my hotel room. So in the plane, I do get some interesting shots. I mean, I do that all the time, but it still feels interesting for me. Now, through the hotel windows, I try to get as high a room as possible, and I try to get the best view possible because hotels usually have a view facing, and where possible, I get city shots or I get the harbor view. And in Hong Kong, that is actually quite a thing. So the first stop is actually Bangkok, and on this trip, when I started the journey, I started with a Leica Q3, and I don't have much on this. Now, what I have in front of this is a KNF. This is a black mist cum VND, variable neutral density filter, which allows me to control the amount of light and lends a soft glow to my images through the black mist 1/4 function. So when I fly on a plane, I try to time my trips in the later part of the evening so that I can catch the sunset through the window. And you do have to be mindful of the route that you are taking so you don't sit on the wrong side and the sunset is actually on the other side. So I did get some very interesting shots. Now, if you look at this photo of me taking a selfie of myself, actually you can see a rather soft glow, and that is because of the black mist filter. It diffuses the light a little bit and it lends a very soft feel to the entire image, so it doesn't look that digital. And I was able to control the amount of light just by sliding this filter in front. This is the KNF variable ND filter coupled with the black mist 1/4 function. Now, when I'm sharing the next two photos with you, this is actually the sunset when I'm traveling from Singapore into Thailand, and right about evening time, right? You will see that actually they are not clinically sharp. In fact, these photos, they are not even very sharp at all, but the colors and the glow and the diffusion of the light, it actually lends a very mysterious feel to the whole thing. And I do kind of like this. The colors are brilliant coming out of this camera with the filter. And I do think that these are actually wallpaper worthy images. So just bear in mind, get yourself in the right side of the plane. From Singapore to Thailand, we are actually flying up north. So if it is evening time and you want to catch a sunset, you want to face the west, which means to say you need to sit on the left side of the plane going up, so you are able to get the window seat and shoot out of the window to get these images. Now, when I reached into Bangkok, the hotel of choice this time around was the Grand Hyatt A1. The hotel is fantastic for its location, but the view is probably nothing to write home about. Now, this is the shot that I got from the room, and this time of the year around, Bangkok actually has pretty clear skies. And if you look at this, this was taken actually in the early hours of the morning, and the sun was lighting up part of the opposite building from my room, but you will see quite a bit of details from the rest of the scene as well. And all this time, I'm actually using the black mist filter. So you get a soft diffusion. Black mist filters don't really work very well in the daylight, and you won't be able to see much of the functionality of what it's doing to your picture. And the light in the skies, you will see that it is actually quite well smoothed out, and it is very well gradated. So it lends a very surreal feel. It doesn't really feel like Bangkok, and the weather in Bangkok at this time of the year is actually fantastic. It's great. So this is the filter that I've left on. Now, so far, I've been taking photos with the Q3. I don't have much to show in Bangkok. It's a city that I'm very familiar with right now, and I don't actually take a lot of photos there. And I was going to bring this to Hong Kong, where I will do some hiking, I'll do some obscene amount of eating, and I will be taking photos from where I'm staying. I've got harbor views for most of the hotels that I'm staying in Hong Kong, and one of them is actually the Ritz-Carlton, and it is over 100 stories high in the sky, and I want to share those photos with you. So going into Hong Kong, I was feeling a little bit of FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. So Within an hour of landing in Hong Kong, I actually got my hands on this. This is the Leica SL3-S, and I wanted to use it for my filmmaking purposes. I coupled it with the 28 to 70 mm. This zoom lens is actually covering quite a useful range, but it doesn't feel very big, it doesn't feel very heavy. Of course, when you're comparing it with the Q3 with the fixed lens at 28 mm, this is of course going to give you a little bit more bulk, and you will feel the weight and the heft of this system. But again, if you're trying to compare it with the Hasselblad X2D Mark II with the 35 to 100 mm range, which covers about the same range as this camera, this is of course pretty compact. Now, when I got the camera, the next day I brought it to the High Island Reservoir, East End. This is in Sikong, which is in New Territories in Hong Kong. Now, this place is actually a UNESCO Global Geopark designated site, and the reason why this is interesting is because it has rock formations that were formed by a super volcano within Hong Kong. I mean, of course, it wasn't Hong Kong at that point in time. I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of years ago. And they had this very interesting rock formation which comes out hexagonal. And I went there to take a look, right? But the problem is the skies were still a little bit dull. Now, I love to take photos of landscape, and especially with the sea and the skies. And I especially love to take it with the sea, the waves hitting the shores. And what I do is I do long exposure. I try to drag out exposure time so the waves turn milky white and everything looks dreamy and soft. So how I did that was, well, you definitely need ND filters, right? ND filters, what they do is they cut the amount of light that's coming into the camera. And when I use that, I use these K&F magnetic filters. Now, you will notice that I have that in a lot of my lenses that I use, right? They all are equipped with the K&F magnetic filter. So even the lens cap is just, snap on and on, nothing to pinch, nothing to grab, nothing to align. You just take it out and put it back. And that is as fast as it gets. Now, K&F claims that it's a 1 second swap, but I think they are underselling themselves. It's a lot faster than that. And if you look at what I have taken here, I did have to drag out exposure a bit, so I was using a ND1000 filter. So this is the 10-stop filter. It really cuts the amount of light that is coming into the camera dramatically, so you can drag out the shutter time very long. And what it does is that when the waves are crashing in, it actually blurs out the line, so it looks very dreamy, very soft. So sometimes you don't need a 10-stop, you need a 2 to 5-stop filter because you don't want to drag the exposure so long. Well, it's easy, right? So if I were to take out the whole filter system, I'll let you take a look at what I'm using. I do have a lot of them because I use it for all my lenses, right? It's very easy. Take out the lens that you want to use and you just snap them on, right? So this is the black mist filter. You see? That's all it takes. You snap it on, that's all. So filter off, filter on, filter off, filter on. K&F says it's 1 second. I think it's sub 1 second. It's a lot faster than that. And you can use it stacked up, right? So you can actually put the cover back on even when your filter is on. So it really makes messing around with filters in the field when you're out in the open, in the wild, a little bit less tricky, right? You don't have to keep screwing in and screwing out. And if you think that this ND filter, ND8 is not enough, you want ND64, you got to screw it out, you got to rotate the other one. And it comes in all these pouches. Now, I'm going to leave the links to in the description down below for the video, so you can buy them if you are interested. And these are very well made. I cannot speak for the optical quality because I don't test them for optical quality. I use these filter systems because of the convenience. So over the next day, I actually brought the Leica SL3-S and the lens and my filters to Shenzhen as well. But Shenzhen was a little bit cloudy, the weather was a little bit overcast, and the skies are just grey. So I took this photo from the hotel. It's not ideal. I was staying in St. Regis. It was a marvelous, fabulous hotel, but unfortunately, just that the skies weren't cooperating at the moment. So whether during this time of the month in Shenzhen, in Hong Kong, is probably a little bit hit and miss. Sometimes you do get glorious sun, sometimes you don't, right? So when you do get glorious sun, I was hiking up there, you can see these photos. Blue sky is fantastic. I even bought a drone, and this is the Antigravity from Insta360. It's a 360 drone, and I captured this amazing image, amazing footage of a parachute actually gliding past the drone, which kind of was dangerous on high side, but look at the image that came out. It is just glorious. And on that day, I got lucky because the skies were clear, right? Not so much for Shenzhen when I was there. But I want to show you what is possible with a shot, a good shot from a hotel room. Now, look at this photo. Now, there's the moon there, so it was kind of full moon, not foolish, I think plus minus 1 day, and it was low hung over the cityscape. Now, I was staying in Hyatt Regency, and this is at Sha Tin. Now, when I took this shot, right, this is a tricky shot, and I just want to preface this. I did some major editing in this shot because it is not possible to take one shot of the moon together with the cityscape, right? Because the moon, you know, is actually very, very bright. So if you expose for the moon to make sure that you can see the details in the moon, your cityscape is going to look very, very dark. Now, if you want long exposure for the cityscape to capture in the light, then the moon will be overexposed. So, you know, typically you're going to end up with a shot that looks like this. It is dull, it is not interesting, you don't see any details in the moon. So, in order to get this image that I have up here, I actually had to layer in two different images. So the first image I took was actually just of the moon itself. So I was exposing for the moon. Now for this, you probably don't need any filters. You just got to set fast enough a shutter speed and make sure that f-stop is roughly similar to the next shot that you're going to take, which is of the cityscape, right? So you get a clear, detailed image of the moon. Now then what you need to do is to overlay that image to another image, the second image. Now the second image, what you're doing is you're going to expose for the cityscape. So what I did was, again, it's the same camera setup. I stepped on the ND filter, which is very, very quick, right? You put on. Now, ND filters, when you are using for night shot, maybe you don't have enough light for the camera to focus. So you do need to pre-focus and set the focus first without the ND filter before you slap on the ND filter. Now, if you are using traditional ND filter, you got to screw, and that might already shift the focus because you are touching the lens, right? What magnetic filters does is that it enables you to set the focus already and just slap it on. So it is that easy, and you don't change any of the focusing mechanism on the camera itself. So once you get the first frame, which is of the moon, and the second frame, which is of the cityscape, and I did very long exposure. I think this was 75 seconds exposure made possible with the ND filter. At night, you probably don't need a heavy ND filter, maybe a ND8 would do. It's just to drag out the exposure time because you want to smooth out the water. Now, in front of these residential areas, I'm actually staying across this, body of water. The reflections, they are smoothed out. The lights that is bouncing off the water, it just becomes like mirror light. So this is so surreal a feel, right? Now, when you overlay these two together, well, some people will say, hey, that is cheating. You might as well take a screenshot of a moon from somewhere else and overlay into your images. Well, I tried to make it as authentic as possible, replicating the size and the position of the moon and where it is. If you look really, really hard, yeah, you could probably tell that this is some editing magic at work, but honestly, it gives me such pleasure looking at this. In fact, I even have it used as my wallpaper on my phone right now. So this video is actually not sponsored by K&F. Why do I keep talking about K&F? Look at the number of filters that I bought from K&F. In fact, I have so many of them, and in all my camera system, including this new, the Panasonic S9, I'm actually also using magnetic filters, and they work very, very well. For my Hasselblad X2D Mark II, and this is with the 35 to 100 mm, they use 86 mm filter threads. And look, I'm also using the same K&F magnetic filter system. Now I'm going to leave links down because they are actually running a campaign for this. Again, this is on Amazon and these are affiliate links. So if you don't find a good price, don't buy them using these links. Now, if you use these links, it's not going to cost you more. I'm not sponsored by them. I just get a couple of cents from every time you buy this. And the reason why I'm doing this is not because I want to earn a couple of cents or a dollar from you. I just want you to understand that I paid for all this, and there is a very good reason why every single lens that I have is using these magnetic filters. They have changed the way I take photographs. They have changed the way I've taken filters out in the field. Now, before these magnetic filters came about, I actually rarely used ND filters or any form of filters for the matter because I just find them very, very troublesome. Now, at the most, I'll use a CPL, a circular polarizer filter. And you know what? They also make CPL filters and they are just like a snap-on. I can't remember which lens I have the CPL on. You just snap it on and you just rotate because, you know, CPL, circular polarizer, you do need to rotate them to make sure that you can cut down the reflection from water, from glass. When you're trying to shoot through glass, when you're trying to shoot a car, maybe you want the reflection cut out from the windscreen and all that. So it's really made filters a thing for me. Before this came about, I rarely use filters. So it has opened up quite a bit of opportunities for me to take different kind of photos, especially the photos that I like of landscape. So like I said, if you are keen and if you are interested and you want to try them out, do check out the links in the description down below. So you have seen those QR codes throughout my video. I would have linked them to the Amazon store where you can buy and check them out. Again, check the prices, make sure that you're getting them for the right price. They are not exactly cheap, not exactly budget, but they do feel good. And, you know, I really enjoy using filters after K&F came up with these magnetic filters. Right, it's the end of the year. I hope you are well into your travel plans and getting ready for the new year ahead. And here's wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year for 2026. And I hope to do more videos moving forward. And I'll catch you around in one of my other videos.